I would like to show you a couple of tricks in Word that you might find useful. Uh, I have here the new document page, and when you get to this page in Word, you can see that up here you have a little box that says search for online templates. If you type in MLA into that box and you click search, you're going to see eventually a couple of MLA template papers show up. It also will show up, depending on what version you have, somewhere on the landing screen for new, but it doesn't always do that. So here, if I open an MLA paper and I do create, I can open a paper here and I have everything formatted correctly. The first thing I do is take out all of the content stuff that they have because this isn't very useful to me. And I can just use the header here to get my information correct. I can put my last name up here in the upper right hand corner, which is what MLA format requires us to do. The page number is already there and it'll keep paginating the document correctly. I then type in my name and my instructor's name and our course number. This is our course and section, English 101, 675. And then I type in the date. Today is the 3rd of February, so I type 3 February 2019. And then I put my title in here. Okay, if I have a title like, a track meet for the observation paper, then I would just type that in. Okay. And then once I do this, I can just go ahead and start typing the rest of the paper as if I'm typing any other document, as you can see. So what I've done here is showed you how to use this template. You might find this useful because it's going to put all the elements that you need for an MLA heading into the right place. Now let me show you a feature that might help you with some of the grammar and spelling and style questions that might arise as you're working on your paper. If you click on File in Microsoft Word and you go down to this box that says Options, you're going to get a menu that gives you different kinds of possibilities that can have Word help you help yourself. One of the things that you can do is click on Proofing, and you'll get this menu. Depending on what version of Word you have, it'll look very similar to this, or it might look slightly different. The key down here is towards the bottom of the screen where it says Writing Style. And you see the default is set for what's called Grammar Only. If we go in here and we click on Grammar and Style, we're going to get a different set of readings, a different set of items that are marked as potential errors or things that you might want to reconsider what you've written. Okay, so all we have to do is click on the down menu, go to Grammar and Style, and then click on OK. Okay, let me show you how this might work in a particular document. I have another document open here that you might find interesting. So this is a sample of a student paper from last year. It's just a draft. There's a lot of errors in it. If I go through this thing, with just a standard grammar only, let me just show you how that works real fast. And I recheck the document and it says yes. Okay. I go through here and you see just a couple of lines. If I right click, it's going to tell me that I need a space. I have one too many spaces there. Here it's going to tell me the same thing, that I've got one too many spaces. Here it tells me that I need a space between those words. Here it tells me that Duca is not in the dictionary. It's a girl's name. I can add it. Okay. Here is a spacing problem, and so on. Okay. Now let's try the same document, but we'll use the grammar and style options. Okay. So I go back up here to proofing, and I go down to grammar and only. I select grammar and style, and I recheck the document, and I click yes. And let's see what we have now. Okay. The first paragraph, there's nothing different in it. Here, suddenly I see that it's underlined could have. It's also underlined that. And it's going to tell you that you could change that to that is, which in this case would not be a good idea because the sentence is in past tense. And it's going to tell me down here that we should change this to could have. If you click on the grammar button, it should explain over here on the right that your issue here is use of contractions. In formal writing, as a rule, we do not tend to use contractions. We use them in dialogue, but we don't tend to use them in the body of a sentence that's part of a paper. But that's the problem that this particular change in the settings for grammar and style will find for us. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay. Here, exciting. Okay, and it's telling me that I have what's called a comma splice, a run-on sentence in which two complete sentences are joined by a comma. This was exciting, me knowing that I was going to be able to make new friends and keep them happy with something I was willing to do. So this is a complete sentence, and the first part, this was exciting, is also a complete sentence, although it's very short. So to fix this, I could simply change it, put a semicolon in, and this will fix it. This also brings up another error here for me, and this should be I or my. I would use the word my, what we call a possessive with a gerund, which is unusual that it would show up in Microsoft Word. It's not that sophisticated a program. Okay. Let's go further down and see. We've got another contraction, another contraction. Okay. It shows us that this is a name that we're going to need to add to the dictionary if we want to. And then these should be possessives, although it won't tell you that because it doesn't recognize the words. That's why it's underlined these things at all. Okay. Here, this suggests that you change this to I, that others and I. See how excited everyone was that others and myself, we had made time to join the group. Here, I would be technically correct, but there's also another problem with this sentence. Okay. And that is that the diction is wrong. It's as if the student has too many words in the sentence, is trying to do too many things at once. If I were going to change this, I would say I started to look around and see how excited everyone was that, and I would just take this out, that we had made time to join the group. Okay. And now that we see that, you can see how it makes a sentence shorter, more direct, and grammatically correct. Okay. Here it underlines the word shoeboxes, and it may want to make that one word, and that's up to you. Now here, once I do that, that makes this sentence indicate that there's a problem. And here it says wordiness. And you can click on grammar. It'll give you some ideas for maybe ways that you can take out certain number of words. What I would do here very simply is if I just took this out and said one event that caught my eye was the Christmas event. And then you can see that it makes it easier to read. Okay. Here I would put a period and then make this a new sentence that follows it. Just to let you know, that's what I would do to avoid the comma splice. Okay. But you can decide what you want to do. The purpose of this, again, is to show you that there's a tool in Microsoft Word that will help you to find errors beyond just the grammar only function that's already enabled when you go into Blackboard. The problem is that go into Word. The problem with Word is that it only identifies maybe 50% of the grammar errors, and about 20% of that 50% is sometimes wrong. So there's one other tool I want to show you that might help you. This is a tool that you see advertised frequently online called Grammarly. You can add it to Firefox, you can add it to Windows as an add-on. I already have an account in this, and you simply go to Grammarly.com and you can add it in for free. There is a premium version, but I have never seen a difference between the premium and the free version. There's not a whole lot. It's not worth the money. In fact, Grammarly itself is a very limited program, but it might identify some errors that Word does not. So to make it work, I already have it installed. I already have an account. So this is what it looks like. I open this and then I just copy and paste the document that we were just looking at. And you can see that it starts picking up some mistakes. And then it's going to try to sell you the premium version over here, okay? But it will identify things that you might want to take a look at, okay? It if you click on the red line, it will tell you what the error is, okay? Gone for this one. So you can see it identifies a couple of errors that the other program, that Microsoft Word, did not, okay? So what I recommend is that you use Microsoft Word first, and then if you're concerned, that you go to Grammarly. Now understand that both programs together are going to find a few errors, but they're not going to find every one of them. They find different errors, but they're both limited, and there's a variety of reasons for that, mainly because English is such a complex language and there's so many variations that can exist that it's very difficult to create any kind of software program, particularly a free one, that is going to cover the waterfront. But I did want to show you those two things: enabling the grammar and style feature in Word, and you do that by going to Options, Proofing, and then clicking on Grammar and Style. And then the second thing is to activate a free Grammarly account if you feel it will be useful to you. Try these out and send me a note and let me know how this works for you. Thank you.